Good morning. It is Karina from Friendly Pantry. Welcome to the Food Allergy Mom Coffee Chat. I come here almost every Thursday at 10 o'clock Mountain Time, and we talk about things that are important to food allergy moms. I always have my coffee, and I hope that you have a coffee too, or maybe a tea or whatever you like to have, because I just want to get comfortable and kind of chat it for a few minutes. So usually what I do is I talk about my blog post that I wrote for the week. And this week I talked about tips for empowering your food allergy toddlers. Now, if you don't have a toddler, don't run away, because this is for you too. There is definitely ways that you can always empower your kids. And the more you can teach and ingrain in them, the better, I think. So it's never too early and it's never too late. That's what I say when it comes to empowering and teaching our kids all of these great allergy habits. So I would recommend, if you have a toddler, to listen, but also if you have an older child, to listen and read the blog as well. This is actually the second time I've written this blog, because the first one was just about kids in general, and it was kind of more general ideas. This one, I'm focusing a little bit more on the habits that I think are great for littler ones. So these habits are so important to ingrain and help them to understand as they get older, so that they can feel confident. We want them as moms to feel safe and to be able to keep themselves safe as they get older, because when they get out into the world, they're going to need all of that information to be able to do that. And so I really like to make sure that teaching these things helps them to keep them safe. And you want them to feel confident. You want them to not be afraid to speak up. And if we're always doing it as a mom ourselves and not helping them to do it and teaching them how to start doing it and maybe pushing them a little bit, it's not going to be great, because as they get older, they're not going to have that confidence to do it themselves. And that's really what our jobs as a mom is to do. I really believe that we are training them to become independent as they get older. And so helping them to feel confident and speaking up about their allergies is definitely one way to do that, and one thing that we need to do. The other thing that I feel like this is so important, the reason why I think it's so important, is because we really want them to develop healthy habits. And healthy habits are not easy, as we all know. They're definitely not easy to kind of keep in check and to keep going. So if we can kind of guide them on that path of having those healthy habits and starting early, and so it's just something that's a no-brainer. They just do it no matter what. That, I think, is success, because when they get into those teen years where it's like they're with a lot of friends, and if they're not confident saying, I need to read the label before I eat that, or they're not confident eating something different from their friends, then that is going to be a real problem for them as they get into those teen years. And so I believe that teaching them with positivity and encouragement right from the beginning is what really helps. So that's why I think all of that is so important. And all that to say, I have a lot more ideas on the blog. I'm going to just touch on a couple things here today, but definitely check out my 2 blog posts that I've done on this. The one that was just this week, and also prior to that, I linked to it in the one I did this week. So I've put the link in this description for this live, and also if you're on Instagram, it is going to be in my profile, so you should easily find it there. I also want you to know about my meal plan that I've created. It's 5 meals, easy meals that kids love, and it has breakfast and snack ideas as well, and it's top 8 plus gluten friendly. So check that out, and also actually sesame and mustard. So check that out, download it. You're gonna love it. Your kids are gonna love it. Grab that. The link is going to be, again, in the live comments, or if you're on Instagram, it's going to be in my profile. So, okay, so I talked about how important it is to get our food allergy kids empowered and understanding what they need to do, but how do we do it? So the first thing that I think is a really great tip is explain what you're doing and why you're doing it. So when they're little, you're going to explain to them, right now I'm going to read this label to make sure that what I give you is safe. And of course they can't read it themselves, but if you're explaining what you're doing and why you're doing it, you know, throughout daily life, that is going to start to get that in their minds, and they're going to start to think about, okay, reading labels. As they get older and they can actually read, they're going to be able to start looking for those words on those labels that they need to look for. But at this point, you're just explaining what you're doing and why you're doing it. The other thing is create your own consistent habits and model them. So I talk about more what these habits are in the blog, but I have to say that as a parent, as with anything with a parent, we have to model what we want our kids to do. And so if we're doing something consistently and they're seeing that we're doing it, so even when it's hard, so that means, you know, asking, bringing your own food to a potluck, let's say, or always carrying your epinephrine with you. So maybe they don't carry it now and they're so little, but always just letting them know, like I said, letting them know, I'm putting your EpiPen in my purse and we're going to take it with us because we're going to be eating at this event. Or I'm carrying it with us always, and just having it with you to show them. Modeling those behaviors when they're little is really going to make a big impact as they get older, and they're going to see that it's important. And if you start to do things where you're like, oh, this one time it's not going to matter if we don't have our EpiPen, just keep in mind that those little eyes are watching, and they are going to see that, and they're going to get that message that it's not important. So I think a big thing is always keeping consistent if you can, and well, just keeping consistent, not if you can, but doing the right thing and showing it to your child at every stage so that they can get that message that they need, that it's important. And the other one that I want to talk about is showing your child the trainer, EpiPen, or whatever epinephrine you have, and just pumping it up, making it positive, making it something that this is what's going to help you if you ever need it. Because I've heard of so many stories of kids that are really afraid of getting the EpiPen. And I know moms, including myself, who feel afraid to give the EpiPen. So that is one thing that we definitely do not want to be afraid to do. We want to feel really confident. And for ourselves, one thing that really helped with that is taking an expired EpiPen and using it on an orange. And we actually did it as a family when my kids got older. We had enough expired, I kind of kept them, and we all got to do it so that we would all feel what it felt like. And you know what, that was amazing, because it was just a way to kind of understand that this isn't so bad and it's a lot easier than you think it's going to be. And so teaching that to your little one, showing it to them, and of course the real one, you don't want to let them play with the real one, but if you have the trainer and you can show them and let them play and kind of try it out and see what it's like and just get them used to it, that is a great idea. I did this in my daughter's grade 1 class, actually. She started carrying her own EpiPen in grade 1, and she got a lot of kids asking her. They wanted to see it. They wanted her to take it out of its container. And so I decided with the teacher that I would come in and do a little presentation, and I brought a whole bunch of trainers and just let them play with it. Let them try it out. I explained what it would do. And honestly, that was the best thing I could have done. The kids didn't ask her anymore. The mystery was gone. And it was just like, it's another thing. She always carries her EpiPen. That's what it is. And we know what it's for. And they're not so wondering about it, right? The other thing that I love to talk about when they're really little is to start pumping up the fact that they're going to be able to carry their own EpiPen one day. So making it like it's a real exciting thing, like when you're old enough, you're going to be able to carry this. Because if they're going to feel like it's like, wow, like I get to carry it one day, they're going to be a lot more interested in carrying it one day, instead of just wishing that mom would always bring it. And I really wanted to get my daughter to carry hers, because I feel like that's something that I want her to continue on her own. And so by making it sort of an exciting milestone that they're going to reach, it's going to really help them have that enthusiasm to carry it. So I think that's a really important little tip that I love to use, and that I feel like it worked really well for us. So I know this is sort of like a quick synopsis of the whole thing. If you have any ideas or ways that you empower your child, please comment. I would love to know what you do and what you like to do. You can also send me a DM. Let me know what you thought of these tips. I would love to know. And yeah, I'm back here next week. Oh, I did want to let you know about my teal pumpkin ideas, because I have made a list of ones that are just a little bit more unique, because I know, some of those spider rings, it can get a little overwhelming to have like 100 spider rings. So I thought I would give you a few more, just a little more unique. They're still really low cost. If you are the type of mom who loves to do those Pinterest crafts, there's going to be one or two that you're going to love in there. So that is also on my blog. I released it last week for all those early birds out there, because I know there's a few getting ready already. But check that out, because it's on the blog, and there's some great ideas that I think you're going to really love. So that is it for now. I tried to keep it to 10 minutes, but it's actually more than that, because I was hoping that I could go post this on my IGTV, which if it's over 10 minutes, I can't. And so now I'm over like usual. Anyways, thank you for joining me. I'm going to be back again next week, and we will talk more allergy mom topics that are going to be interesting. If you have a topic that you want to talk about, let me know. I would love to know what your questions are and what you're interested in, and that will help me to create more blogs and more of these coffee chats. So I hope to hear from you soon, and I hope you have a great weekend, and bye for now.